Alright, welcome back to another episode of StichMethod. Today might be easy, might be hard, but we're going to talk about how to create your own looped backing track to improvise over. You know, a key to improvisation is having a backing track that you can really follow and understand the changes. And so we're going to be playing a 12-bar blues backing track. We're going to learn how to layer it on a looper, and we're going to talk about, why this is important. A couple of weeks ago, I launched a video about soloing and phrasing and licks, and it was all about like timing. And I got several comments about this backing track that I made. Not that it was great or anything, just people said, "What is that backing track? Did you make it?" And I was talking to one of my friends, and they said, "Hey, I watched that video. How'd you make that backing track?" And I said, "You know what? I'll make a video to show you." So this is for you if you have a looper and you want to design your own backing tracks. I'll show you how to do it. So the first thing to realize when you're making a loop is that music is a layered entity. That's how I think of it. There's the drums, then you have the bass, then you have the rhythm guitar, and you have lead. And whenever I'm designing a loop, I try to design it from the ground up. Now I do have a looping pedal that I'll talk about. I also have a multi-effects pedal or an amp simulator known as the Ampero, the Hot Tone Ampero. You do not need a drum machine if you don't have one. This happens to have one. I'll make it with the drums, but you'll see that you'll be able to do this without the drums. So let's get started. So before we begin, really, let's just give a quick listen to that backing track that I made. It is not that impressive, but just so you can understand and listen for all the elements. I will sit here and just stare awkwardly into the camera while we listen. Okay, enough. Alright, you get the idea. You heard some things happening. Let's talk about all of it. So on my Ampero, I have a drum machine, okay? And I picked a swing beat, which is kind of synonymous with the blues. And so let's just give that beat a listen. Remember, if you don't have a drum machine or anything like this, it's okay because you can start with layering the guitar, which we'll get to in the next step. Okay, so I have the swing beat loaded up, and let's just give that a listen, alright? We're going to sit and just kind of listen to what that drum beat has to offer. Notice you can hear like almost the blues. Boom, boom, bum, boom, 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 bum, boom, 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 bum. So I picked that beat, and that's the beat we're going to use right there. And so what I'm going to do before we record our first loop is I'm going to need to know how 12-bar blues works. So you're going to need to know that. I have several videos on that all over my channel. Number two, you're going to need to know what chords to use, all right? And so when I'm laying down the thickest section here, all right? By the way, in case you don't know this, I'm in an RV, and I'm in an old house in New York, and there's a train right next to me, so you're going to hear some rumbling. I hear it coming. I might have to edit out, but here we go. So we have an E chord, okay, that we're going to use as the 1 chord. All right, ooh, here's a train a-coming. I'm going to leave this in so you can hear it or feel it if you're listening. Ooh. All right, so there's the E. Now we're going to use our A chord for the 4 chord, and for the 5 chord, we're definitely going to use the B7. So these are the 3 chords we're going to use. Yes, you can use 7th chords, but we're going to get to that in a different layer. So the first layer is either going to be, on your loop, drums and guitar, or just guitar, all right? So I'm going to sit, and I'm going to start that beat up, and I'm going to capture it with my looper, but I'm also going to play a very easy, laid-back, kind of just strummed out 12-bar blues in my chords. Let's see if we can capture this. Okay, now, you can hear that I was like super close, but it's going to be fine. And so now, just in case you're wondering what I was just doing with that layer, if you want to capture that sound, I'll show you, alright? You have these beats in these bars, 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. On the 2 and 4, you were definitely strumming, ooh, volume, you're definitely strumming your chord. Everything else is going to be a palm muted hit on those bass notes. So you got this 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 1, a 2, So on the 1, I'm kind of palm muting. Everything else I'm kind of lifting up on. On the A chord, I'm just making sure to hit the A string for the root. And for the B7 as well, the A string. So you're muting everything except for the 2 and 4 with the strum, all right? And so I have that layer now. And so let's just give that a listen. Let's just see what it sounds like. Great. We're going to listen to the whole thing, make sure the loop is actually a good loop. This is the hardest part. If you need help making a continuous loop, watch this video here. Alright, here's the moment of truth, the loop. Perfect. Alright, so that in itself, that might take ages for you to do, and I understand. Like, I don't know how comfortable you are with making loops just yet. Again, I referenced that video. If you really need help, watch the video I pointed to about a minute ago. And once you're able to get either the drums and the guitar, or just the guitar down in a nice loop, you have your bass level. Alright, I do highly suggest you use that rhythm. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. That rhythm emulates the drums, alright, and kind of enhances it. Our next level is going to be putting in some sort of like bass line here, alright? That first level was just kind of making the drums have some color, alright? So now the second level I'm going to do is putting in these bass lines. Now the bass lines I'm going to put in are going to be very simple. They're going to come all from the E minor pentatonic, right up until about this E. When I get to the A, I might throw in a something like that, but I'm going to try and stick to these 5 notes. 6 if you're counting them, but really it's just the root, and I'll stop talking. But the rhythm I'm going to use here, it's going to go 1, a 2, a 3, a triplet. I'm just going to throw in these triplets. 1, a 2, a 3, a triplet. 1, a 2, a 3, a triplet. Now the idea here is that the pentatonic always sounds good. You don't really have to be so like designing of these little fills. As long as they're in a pentatonic, you should be fine. On the 4th bar, before we change chords, I'm going to do a different type of fill. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, a 4, something like 1, 2, 3, a 4, something like that, just to create a little bit more movement into our chord changes. And so I'm going to record the loop, and you can watch me do it, and then we'll talk about it. But really what I'm doing is just I'm putting in that triplet. 1, 2, 3, triplet. Triplet, or triplet, or triplet. Triplet, anything I want. You'll see what it sounds like. Here we go. 1, a 2, a 3, a triplet. 1, a 2, a 3, a triplet. 1, a 2, a 3, a triplet. 1, 2, 3, a 4, a 1, a 2, a 3, a triplet. 1, a 2, a 3, a triplet. 1, a 2, a 3, a triplet. 1, 2, 3, a 4, a 1, a 2, a 3. A triplet, 1, a 2, a 3, a triplet, 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 1, 2, 3, a 4. Let's see what it sounds like. Good. Sounds great so far. I like it. Okay, great. Sorry to make you listen. Kind of a longer video. I get it, because we have to listen so much, and you should listen too. Again, making loops and making tracks. It's my dad, who's one of the smartest men I know, always said, insight is not cure. We're going to learn how to do it. We're going to have the insight, but you really got to practice this, all right? So take your time. Each level is just another, level in a video game, right? You got to get to the big boss, and, if you can't pass level 1, you can't get to number 2. So just, take your time. The next level now is I'm just going to thicken it up now with some different chord inversions, all right? Check out my Blues Primer playlist if you have any questions about what I'm doing. I'll briefly show you what I'm doing, but right now I'm going to start off with, low-end chords. I'm thinking about the notes on E, A, D, and maybe G. So I'm going to find a different E7. Maybe this E7 here. Maybe this E7 here. Maybe this E7 here. For the A7, the 4 chord, I'm going to think of definitely this A7. What else? Yeah, maybe, no. This, maybe with a little G in there, because that is the 7. That is the 7, the flat 7 of A. B7s, definitely this. Just whatever I can do to thicken it up, maybe arpeggiate it, but kind of strum it out. Now, think about this. Think about building a brick wall. We have, the first layer, and then the second layer is offset, right? Bricks aren't stacked directly on top of each other. It's like one layer, and then the next layer is offset, where the gap where two meet is covered with another brick. And that's the mentality I have. I'm going to be listening in real time, but now that I have that rhythm, that boom, boom, bum, boom, boom, I'm going to try and cover those pauses, boom, boom, bum, boom, and kind of fill in more space. So let's see what I can do here. Watch for my chords and just listen for what I'm doing. It's our next loop. I hope I'm not moving too fast. I hope you're enjoying this. Let's just see what we can do here. Okay, so I had that next layer put on, just kind of filling in with some arpeggio work, some thick end chords. And the last layer here, I might do 2 different layers. Now, I want to say this, is the ditto looper that I have, when you record one piece and you hit record, when it starts again, if you don't shut it off, you can record on top of what you did. So this time around, I now have a drums, I now have this shuffle, basic chord progression, I have some bass fills to it, now I'm coloring it or filling in the gaps with some low end chords, and now I'm probably going to do 2 passes on the looper. I hope this is making sense. I don't have to do one loop and then stop. I can record one loop, and then when it starts again, I can record another loop on it automatically. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to think about higher end chords, like E7s. Let's see, so up here, now I have this shape, this guy here, this guy, even here, right? Here, maybe add the 9th. All this stuff is in my blues primer playlist. An A chord up here, A9, A7. Sorry, not that. Nope, not that. A7, B7s, or like this. Going to think about those higher register chords, be gentle with them, fill them in, maybe do some sliding 6. Great video on sliding 6 will appear up here. I suggest you watch it. It'll demystify that stuff. But now I'm going to add some higher register stuff just to sound a little bit more filling. Here we go. Alright, here's our final loop. Let's give it a listen. Now if you like it, you can sit and practice whatever you want to practice on top of it. Now you have a loop. Now you have a loop that you created, you feel more attached to, and you can check out this video here about the blues matrix. You can use your blues matrix if you want, and then kind of like solo on top of it. You're very conscious of the ingredients. I just wanted to show you how this was made. I don't know if this is my best video, but I know that this was a question I heard from several people, so I wanted to put my best foot forward. Let me know if you have any questions. If you want to practice making loops with me, of course you can on Patreon. I'll show you the ingredients, and I'll stop talking. Talk to you guys later. Thank you for being here. Bye-bye.